Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to show you 5 of my favorite free VST plugins for looping in Ableton Live. All of these plugins either come with Ableton Live or are free for you to download. To show you these plugins, I'm going to show some of the live looping performances that I've done in the past and explain how I've used each plugin. The first effect I often use in my live looping performances is a simple low-pass filter. For this, I use Ableton's EQ8 and set the high cut to a sharp cutoff. I then automate the filter by mapping the frequency control to one of the knobs on my MIDI controller. This allows me to create a filter sweep within the loop. Here's an example of how it sounds. So by automating the filter, I was kind of able to focus the listener on the lower frequencies like the bass and the kick. You could of course automate a low cut filter and have the opposite effect. The next plugin that I use very often in my loops is called INSTALOOPER. It is made by a company called Audio Blast, and the plugin is pretty much a 4-channel looper with controls for the size and speed of each loop. You can also choose to reverse the loops, and you have some options for more effects. In the next clip, I have the on and off button for each loop mapped to my MIDI foot controller. Now I'll show another example where I'm using INSTALOOPER for a really quick stutter effect. Now, since this plugin is so fun and versatile, I'm going to show another clip of it being used to give a beat repeat effect on one of the tracks. Next on the list is reverb. My go-to reverb for ambient sounds is the Tall Reverb version 2. Reverb is really fun to automate because you can start off by having instruments sound really dry and then increase the reverb over time. To do this, I map the wet control on the reverb to my MIDI controller. This is exactly what I'm doing in this next clip. The next plugin is Ableton's Looper. Now for looping all of the instruments, I just record into clip slots in Ableton's session view, so I don't have this plugin on every track like some people do. Instead, I use it for the reverse control. It's an easy way to reverse the audio for one of the tracks that you already have playing in the loop. In this next clip, by turning the looper on, the bell melody is being played in reverse. The last plugin I want to show is another Ableton plugin, and it's Beat Repeat. There are a lot of different controls on this plugin, but I mainly use the interval control and the grid control. Interval lets you control how often the plugin captures new audio and begins to repeat it, while grid lets you select the size of the repeated slice. This is what lets you create different rhythms. In this next clip, the first time Beat Repeat is turned on, it will play a quarter note subdivision, and the next time it will give a triplet feel. I want to show one more clip of beat repeat being used, and this time the variation control is turned up so that the grid size or the rhythm of the repeats is randomized. This makes for some really cool and somewhat unpredictable rhythms. So there was a list of 5 of my favorite plugins to use while looping in Ableton Live. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these and what you think of them, or if there are any other plugins that you use for a similar use. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.